even though it wasn't. All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Super excited for today's coaching call. I want to start with a story, and I was in a group coaching session on Tuesday, and one of the agents that was in the group was talking about conversion ratios, and we were talking lead conversion ratios, pay-per-click, Zillow, and so on. And he was sharing that he's getting a really good conversion ratio on Zillow leads. And I'm like, no way, you're not getting the number that you're getting. Well, sure enough, I had a coaching call with Emma later on that afternoon, and she's sharing her business with me. She's telling me where she's at year to date. She's telling me what her numbers look like. By the way, Emma, year over year, what's your business look like right now compared to a year ago?
It's more than doubled,
More
and
than
we're only, what, 7 months in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more than doubled, and you're only 7 months in. And we're talking good production. We're not talking more than doubled going from average production to a little better. We're talking about from going from good to great. And so Emma was sharing with me about 50% of her business comes from repeat and referral business. And she also was sharing the other 50% comes from Zillow leads. So I asked her the next question, what's your conversion ratio? She answered 70%. And my response, no, you're making a mistake. So I want you to do a little bit more research on this. Is that 70% from a meeting to a closing, or is that from a lead to a closing? And sure enough, it's from a lead to a closing. So it's genuinely 70%. I mean, raise your hand if you think that's impossible or incredible. Mark McClaskey, Zillow guy. Pretty impressive, right? Okay, so my next question to Emma was, what are you doing? I don't think it's the quality of the leads. I think it's what you're doing. So, Emma, that's my first question for you. If you would jump in here and just share with us, what are you doing when you get a Zillow lead? Let's just start with that. You first get the lead, take it from there.
So we are considered to be premier status because of the amount that my team buys in general. So I think, I'll be honest, that also helps. Like we are getting better quality leads than if I was just a solo agent paying for Zillow leads. Um, but because of that, we have an app that's set up and we basically have 10 seconds to pick up the phone call once it comes in. So my phone is like permanently attached to my hand at this point. If I don't pick up, it will go to somebody else.
Okay, could
So
you say that part again? Because that's crazy. Say that part again.
10 seconds to take the call.
You have 10 seconds when an
Mhm.
incoming lead comes to
Yeah.
respond. Mark, what do you think of that? And if you don't take the call, it goes to somebody else on the team.
Yes.
Right?
Now, in theory, there's three of us
Okay,
on
keep
my
going.
zip code. So if I miss it, I'm hoping that one of my other two teammates will pick it up, but not always. And then it's gone.
How often do you respond within 10 seconds?
I'd say I'm probably the best at doing it.
No shock there.
Yeah.
If you had to give me like a percentage, maybe 80% of the time, 70% of the time, what would you guess your uh how often are you picking up within 10 seconds?
95% of the time.
95% of the time. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you've picked up the call. Now what?
It's not a it used to be a live call, but now it's a recorded message and it will tell you the buyer's name, what time the property that they want to go see, and then at what time that will be. Can you confirm it? And so you just press the confirm button that pops up on the screen. So even if I can't do it, I'm still confirming that appointment because I've got my partner Meredith who will take it if I can't. If neither of us can do it, we will try and reschedule. And if we can't reschedule, we refer it out.
Okay, so you're getting a request to see a property and you're
Mhm.
not calling them back and qualifying them. You're
Not at that point,
No,
no.
no, no. I want everybody to really pay attention to this because there's a lot of gems in here. This is the reason why you're getting a 70% conversion ratio. So you're responding to confirm the appointment
Hmm.
within 10 seconds.
Hmm.
Okay, what happens next?
It then all of the information drops into the app. At that point, I send them a text, first of all, saying, "This is Emma. I'm with Carolina Home Partners. I've just taken the call from Zillow. I just wanted to reach out, introduce myself. I'm going to call you." So I give them a text heads up that I'm about to call. Because you know what it's like. You receive a number from somebody you're
Really,
not.
I like that. Okay, so you send them a text. Hey, this is Emma. I'm going to be reaching out to you by phone. And what happens next?
And then I will call them. And I'll be honest, not that often do they pick up. They're more likely to return to the text than they are to ever pick up the phone.
Okay.
And so then we are confirming the appointment. I'll see you there, and that's it. I don't go into working with real estate agent. I don't get into forms. I don't get into any of it. I just set the appointment and confirm the appointment.
Okay, so you set the appointment, confirm the appointment, don't go into any kind of buyer agency conversation.
No.
You just get face to face.
Yes.
Right. Any kind of thought into what if they've already got a real estate agent?
So, yeah, that's a good point. We
Well, let me ask the question in a different way, okay? Because how long have I been coaching with you?
just over a year.
Just over a year. And what's my strategy when it comes to this? Like for sell by owners and expired listings, should I qualify before I go on an appointment, or the purpose of the phone call is to get the appointment?
The purpose is to get the appointment, but I will add within the app, Zillow have already asked them if they have an agent.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
can see that.
Okay. All right. So you're just going on the appointment.
Hmm.
All right. By the way, guys, if you have, I'm guessing that there's going to be quite a few questions here. So if you do have a question for Emma, go ahead and put your hand up, your digital hand up, and I will stop and give all of you enough time to ask questions. So go ahead and get the hands up in the air now. All right. So you're face to face, you're at the property. Talk to me about what happens next.
So at that point, obviously, we're meeting for the first time. I introduce who I am, the team that we're with. I give them like the briefest overview. We're the largest team in the triad. Obviously, you've come through us through Zillow. And then I take my buyer pack with me.
Mhm.
See that? So I'm not planning to overwhelm them at this appointment, but I'll be like, hey, so obviously before I can even open the door to you, I've got a couple of forms that I just need to run through with you.
Got it.
And I'm like, the first one is just a disclosure. And then we talk about, have you heard about the NAR settlement? Do you understand? And I'd say 8 times out of 10, nobody knows anything about why they're signing forms. And I do the working with real estate agents first. I explain the 4 different types of agency very briefly, ask if they have questions. They sign it. I've already got it all filled out for them, so they just need to sign their name. Then I'm like, then we have the next one, which literally allows me to open the door to allow you to see the property. And for that, I'm using the EXP single property buyer broker agreement. Um, Again, rather than overwhelming them, we've never met. We don't know each other. They may not be a good fit for me. I may not be a good fit for them. So I kind of describe it like, look, this is like our first date. Like I'm going to get you to sign this one property form, which allows me to open the door for you. And I run over obviously the terms, 24-hour agreement, what my fee is, the 495 transaction fee that we charge. And I'm like, I will make sure you have a copy of this. I want you to know what you're signing. And then I also provide them with the NAR consumer guide. And I'm like, this is going to explain what I've just explained to you because I do give them a brief overview of what the NAR settlement and why we're asking them to sign this. But this obviously goes into much greater detail. And I've never had anybody not sign it. I
So
mean, what
that
are
was,
they going to do?
so
They're not
that
going to stand
was,
at the doorstep.
okay. So nobody's ever said, no, never mind. I don't want to see the property.
Right.
All right. Now you're showing the home. Uh, you're at the end of the appointment. Talk to me about what happens next.
So obviously we asked, what did you think of the home? Do you have any feedback? That kind of stuff. And then I said, look, I've also got some other information for you that I would like to share.
Right.
And I'm like, this is going to be super helpful. This is value added stuff. So again, from the EXP toolkit and some stuff I've pulled together myself, I'm giving them more information. I'm like, we are not going to go through this now, but I would really love you to go home, read it. I would love the opportunity to be your agent. I'm going to follow up with you later on today, like to give you time to think about the home. I mean, sometimes they're like, okay, where do we sign for like the other, I'm going to ask them to sign a buyer agency, but at the same time, we've just met. But I think where our sweet spot for this is giving them this information. And we've had so many people say, "Well, you're our third Zillow agent. Nobody's given us anything else."
Mm,
So
yeah. So
you
do you,
can immediately see the value we will bring.
there it is. So do you care about me? Can I trust you? Can you help me?
Right.
Conveying from the moment you meet them, I care about you, you can trust me, and I can help you. Uh, how often, what percentage of the time are you getting closing for a buyer who chooses to hire you based on seeing that property?
Buying that property or just buying in
Oh,
general.
no, no, no. Just, and I know your conversion ratio is 70%, so maybe it's a stupid question, but how often are buyers choosing to work with you that you meet with?
So the 75% is how many calls we take to how many people we get to sign agency agreements with us.
Okay.
Our conversion rate for closing, just to be clear, is 42%.
Okay. Anybody still take that? Mark, are you still good with 42%? Thumbs
Oh
up.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I have a question, but I don't know how to raise my hand. I'm
I'll
generally
remember
listening.
that you have a question. Okay,
Okay.
so hang in there one more second. I've got a few more questions for Emma. What's your rate of return on the investment, Emma?
280%.
290%. So what should you do next?
Invest more money in it.
There you go. There, find what works and invest more money in it. I'm blown away, and I could keep asking you questions, but I'm seeing lots and lots of hands here. So rather than me continue to ask questions, let's let everybody else jump in here. Mark, I'm going to come to you, but I've got all these hands up, dude. So I gotta put you somewhere in the group. Sean, you're up. Let's go.
Yeah, I have a friend that I've known since middle school here in Austin, and she's on the same plan. She's got an agent, her own brokerage of about 11, 12 agents. Um, so the way it breaks down is you have an individual ad spend, and then the overall brokerage, everybody combines that together. So I believe she's at about 20K a month. She's not getting off of it, but that's a large sum for most agents to handle. Is that how it works? I'm not asking for the total ad spend because you might not know that. But is that how it breaks down?
Kind of. So I think our team in total are spending $45,000 a month on Zillow leads. And then obviously there's 62 of us, I believe, in our team. And I honestly don't know how many of those out of those people are buying Zillow leads, but it's a fair chunk.
Yeah.
Choose a zip code. The way I've done it is I have split this with my really good friend. So we split it 50-50. So not only do we obviously share the cost of the leads, we share the cost of the revenue, and we share our cost of time. And honestly, I think that's honestly one of the reasons why we've done so well, because we sell it as you get two agents for the price of one. And if I'm not available, Meredith is, and vice versa. So it's just worked really, really. We've also shared the stress, I'll be honest. Like everything has been so much easier having somebody else to kind of share the load with.
Love it.
I bet. Yeah. I tell my wife, if we could spend 20 grand to make 300,000, would we do it? And I say, no, we'd spend 40 to make 600.
That's right. All right, guys, I'm going to move kind of quick because there's a lot of hands up. And if you could put your camera on, please do. Darren Mancuso, let's go.
Hey, good morning, Emma.
Hey.
Question is, we get a mixture of both go-in shows, like you suggested, like you said, but we also still get a lot of direct connections where it says we're connecting you to an agent now. Do you still get those too as well, or no?
Very rarely. I think two have been live calls. The rest of them have all been,
Mm.
yeah, go-in shows.
Um, if you were to get one, and I know it's not as much, but are you still using the ALM appointment location motivation from Zillow, the Zillow playbook, or how would you handle that?
Sorry, say that question again.
So in the Zillow playbook, that they push that just says, hey, if you want to get your conversions up, when you take a live call, you want to follow the ALM script, if you will. And A is set the appointment. So the very first thing is like, hey, this is Darren Mancuso from eXp Realty. I'm an expert in the area. I see that you want to see 123 Main Street. Would you like to see that today or tomorrow? So the very first thing is we're trying to set the appointment. We're not asking questions. We're not, Then L is location, which is, hey, I noticed this property's in Rocky River. I'm just curious, is this the only area that you're looking in, or would you be open to some other areas as well, just in case I can find properties that are similar? And then M is motivation, and typically we say something like, so hey, what caught your eye? What in particular about this property caught your eye, so that we can get them talking about maybe why they're looking, or what the motivation is. And so that's what we're following when we get a live call.
Yeah, I've had so few.
And that's where we get tripped up a lot.
Yeah.
So can I jump in
Okay.
here? Darren,
Yeah.
stop doing
Yeah.
that. Just book the appointment. Just leave the L out, leave the M out. You can handle the L and the M when you're face to face with them. Just do the appointment.
Well, I agree. They're using AI though to listen to our calls, and they're grading us at so we're trying to keep our best of Zillow status, which is based on a
Okay,
bunch
if
of
you're
criteria.
converting 42% of the leads you get to a closed sailing, are they going to be okay with that?
Right.
All right.
I know.
All right. Let's go
Well,
on.
thank you, Emma. I'll let I have more, but I'll let others go.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. That's phenomenal. I do a lot of what you said when you meet with a client, bring value. Could you just briefly tell me some of the things you bring of value? And you mentioned you go somewhere in EXP to get some of that with with our logos and all that.
So yeah, and this is open to all agents, I believe, not just EXP. I think they've done a phenomenal job in opening it up to anyone who wants to access it. But so yeah, within it, I pull off, and there's so much more. And I don't pull the whole toolkit. I kind of cherry pick what I think is the most relevant. So I pull off the home buyer's roadmap, because that's like an 8-step process from first meeting to closing. It's really simple. I don't know if you can see this. Really
I'm
simple
familiar with that one.
Of like how the whole process works. A home preparation guide, which basically tells them how, get pre-approved. That's the first thing as well. That's one of the first things we're covering. If you're not going to be cash, you need to get pre-approved. So this kind of tells them what they need to pull together to do that. I also give them our preferred lender information, and we have just started splitting the cost of Zillow leads to make it cheaper for us with the lender that we've been referring out the most business to. So it's now a 3-way split.
That's very similar.
Also client services. And then what I've created myself is I have done, and I think this is the thing they love the most, is a buyer cost sheet. So this is the average inspections of how much cost are you as a buyer, because most of the time they have no clue. Either they're first time home buyers or they haven't bought a home in forever, and obviously things change. So this gives them the average prices for appraisals, inspections, attorney fees, all of that stuff. This is the one thing I think that gets it done. Everybody loves this.
I agree.
To share what, obviously this is relevant to North Carolina, but you can obviously adjust it.
Well, we're a little different in Maryland, and before we even go in a house, we have to have the buyer broker agreement. But everything you said is very similar to what I have, and I'll refine mine. And God bless you. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for my question.
Mark, I'm going to work you into the group here. So let's go.
Thanks. I'm off mute. So is Emma, you're a Premier. Is there any other Flex teams on this call? Because in Charlotte, we're a Zillow Flex, not a Premier anymore. Is there any other Flex teams on this call?
I would guess with 87 people on the call, the answer to that is probably yes, Mark.
Okay. So Emma, my question, do you utilize that automated touring form that Zillow has. Do you use that at all, or you do your own EXP form?
I use the EXP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they do have that built in to the app where that, and I know it's not EXP approved, but Zillow's got their showing form to try to be NAR compliant. So I was just curious about that.
Some people will have filled it in already. I still make them do the EXP one though.
Okay. Well, I think it's great that you're splitting that with your lender, but being a flex team, they're Zillow. I think Zillow's the it's the gorilla in the room. I think we all ought to buy some blue polo shirts with the logo because it seems like we're gonna. They own everything. They own dot loop. They own showing time. I think they paid 800 million for showing time. So the real time touring leads are what we get a lot of. And to the ALM point, the guy that was talking about that, our growth advisor said, just like John said, just get the appointment. They don't really focus too much on location and motivation. That AI robot wants to hear you book that appointment. And we've got a lot of agents on my team that get frustrated because they're already saying they're working with another agent, right? So I don't know how much that happens with you, Emma, but we've had several agents still go out and meet. I know it's not company policy if they say they have an agency agreement, but they don't even get, we don't even get into that. We just go meet them. And we've had probably half a dozen agents get hired, even though they had been working with another agent. So it works if you just meet them. That's the big thing. So
I've had one out of the 41 calls we've taken so far this year. Only one has had another agent. And when we do the single property showing, I say that to them. I'm like, are you sure you're not working with another agent and you haven't signed anything? Because you can be potentially liable for 2 commissions and nobody wants that. So that kind of focuses the mind a little bit, whether they have or not. But like I said, we've only found one that has.
Well, if there's no other flex teams on here, but this is where they're pushing it. That's why I've got my Zillow Home Loans. Once you're a flex team, they're gonna really want us to use Zillow Home Loans. So there's some big agents here in Charlotte that aren't EXP. We're the only EXP flex team in Charlotte, but some of the other teams have severed their relationship with their preferred lender because Zillow's really focusing heavily on pushing Zillow Home Loans. So we've got they track us here. The way they get around it with RESPA is the leads that come in sometimes say that they're ZHL interested, Zillow Home Loans, ZHL. And if that Zillow Home Loans interested lead hasn't been transferred, we get dinged. So they have what's called an engaged transfer rate, ETR. So they track all of that. So if you're on Premier and you're paying for leads, try to stay on it as long as you can. I tried to stay on it as long as I could, and then I called my growth advisor when they rolled out Flex, and she said, "Mark, if you don't take this invitation, you're going to lose out. You're either on the train or you're off." So I don't know. Zillow's just really, really huge. It's a great lead source. We got some agents that I try to say, look, don't let this be 100% of your business, but some of it is, and it can be very good. And your conversion rates, that's amazing. But they do track it all, and it's they're a big company, and but I think just to the point of what you're doing is just getting that appointment, and even sometimes you drive out there, they stand you up. Some of our people will do a video tour, send it to the lead. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a robot. We didn't think you were going to actually meet us there." So it's kind of all over the place, but
yeah,
I guess that's my 2 cents. I don't know if that helped.
I think you get more the more you keep the app up to date because you have to go back in with each client you've seen and give a status update as to are they showing home, are you nurturing, are you under contract. We get really pushed as a team to keep on top of that, like do a weekly check on that because that keeps our premier agent status higher. And I think it also, when you're on top of it, I think you get, that's how they funnel the leads, I believe. I don't know, but
Guys,
well, they're doing it.
Mark, I'm going to have to jump in here, buddy. I've got 9:32 and two very loud dogs barking in the background, so I apologize. But I'm going to stay right here. I'll mute myself as long as Emma can stay and keep answering questions. We're going to stay right here. So hang in there, guys, if you can. Tyann, you're up.
Hi, thank you, Emma. That was really helpful. I had a meeting last week with Zillow where I'm not a new agent, but I've never done Zillow leads. And my zip code that I'm farming with my partner, Joanne Kelly, is taken. So they were trying to find me market share in other zip codes, but they were like across the bay. I'm in Tampa Bay area. Do you have any advice or have you to get more into you? I'm on a wait list now for my neighborhood, but do you have any advice for someone just starting out with this who is rebooting their business on a lower income bracket for what we have available funds and then just trying to get a piece of the pie, I guess?
I mean, I think it's the same. Just get the appointment. Once you get onto it, just get the appointments. The more appointments you get, the more you're going to build up your presence and build up your status. I think they have like 5 or 6 rungs of,
Hmm.
like the lowest level lead right up to the top. And so the more you take, the more you convert, you get moved up. And I think obviously the more you spend as well makes a huge
Yeah.
part of that. And again, that's why I think we have been successful because my team is buying them in such great
Large.
amounts. We're kind of piggybacking off the back of that. The other thing I will say is, I didn't realize until yesterday, the lender is also getting leads outside of what we're seeing. So she's now
Oh.
getting leads. I mean, this is a new thing. She's only been partnering with us for a month, but she said yesterday, and I don't think she realized, she's had like 50 people drop into her CRM through it as well, like drop in through because she's getting leads from it that they're not necessarily the zip code we're buying. So to me, that's like, well, that's even more reason to partner with a lender because they're going to get leads and they're, obviously because you're partnering together, they're going to give you that as well. So you're not only getting it through Zillow, you're also getting the extras through the lender as well.
When you bought into your zip code, how was the market share of that zip code? Did you have to wait for people to buy less each month and then start snagging up more, or do you?
So at the moment, apparently there's $4,000 remaining in ads in spend for our zip code.
Mhm.
When we took this zip code on, this is the biggest zip code in our area. Like we're called the Triad. And I don't know, I think there's like 12, 13 zip codes maybe within our area. We were told this was the worst performing zip code. And we were like, that just can't be. It just can't be. Like it's the biggest zip code. And Grant, you've got, $150,000 condos right up to like $2 million homes in this zip code and kind of everything in between. And apparently we're the first ones to make it work. So I don't know if that's us or that's
Yeah.
just coincidence because, people are just looking more in this zip code than other people. I don't know. But we certainly haven't had that experience with it. But we were told weirdly yesterday after John and I spoke about me upping what we're putting into this, we got a note yesterday saying there's an extra $4,000 available if we want it. So I think once people drop away, Zillow should be more proactive in telling you. Like we've got a Zillow rep that contacts us on a regular basis to kind of keep us in the loop.
All
Okay,
right. Well, thank you so much.
let's keep the questions going. Hawk, you're up. iPhone, you're on deck. Darren, you're up. And the last hand up.
Uh,
Let's go, Hawk.
awesome. Amazing info. One, I would love to see the forms. I know they're North Carolina specific, but if you're willing to share them, that would be amazing. And then I had a question, if you use the same process with any other platforms, or is this just Zillow? You getting leads anywhere else?
No, not really. This is it for me for actual paid lead generation. I mean, I have been farming my area for the last 4 years, and we've got like an ad in a local magazine, but that doesn't really do. I mean, that gives us presence, but it's not necessarily giving us lead gen. But no, I've just followed John and everybody else's guidelines of just get the appointment. I mean, that's literally been our one and only focus.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things that Emma's done, not related to the conversation today, but a big part of her business comes from repeat and referral business. And one of the things that we did, Emma, if you remember, is we started tracking something super simple, which is how many times are you asking for a referral? And just focused on that more and closed more sales, got more referrals. The other thing, as long as I'm talking super quick here, guys, I want you to just keep in mind the process that she uses. It's really the message that I wanted you to hear today. So whether it's a Zillow lead or not, speed to the lead, her process of just schedule the appointment versus qualifying them ahead of time, getting face to face, conveying I care about you. You can trust me. I can help you. It's all big part of why she's getting such tremendous results. Okay, I'm sorry to call you iPhone, but that's all I've got in my screen here. So let's go, Darren. You're up next, and that's going to be a wrap for it today, guys. Emma, thanks for staying in with us so long here. You're on mute, by the way. So between Darren and iPhone, whoever gets off mute first goes.
Hey, it's Jason Randall. I didn't know I had iPhone. I don't know why that happened. My apologies.
No worries. It's good to see you.
So, good to see you too. Thanks for the meeting, John. Hey, real quick, guys, I've spent over $1 million with Zillow. I've been associated with the Zillow Premier for over 20 years. And I started when this very first started when they were giving 200 leads when it was only costing $2,000. Just a real quick synopsis of what I can give you from the data that I have, which is raw data. I came to Tampa, and I am on the waiting list too for some zip codes. Be careful. You need to make sure you're in the right zip codes that are going to produce, period. I was in Austin, and the zip codes that didn't produce based on the analytics you can find in your local MLS will make or break sometimes because the cost is really expensive. But when you get in the right zip codes and you align yourself, it is a monster system because I came from Austin to Florida and that was my, at least 70% of my business. 30% was referral, 70% was, Zillow leads. But then I came to Florida because, I was from Austin, Texas, and I was brand new. I was like, what am I going to do? My referral business is gone. I didn't want to do Zillow. I was like, man, because I was spending 45 to 65,000 a month on my leads, and that's what I was paying for the Zillow. Now I'm only spending around 10. So you don't have to spend these large amounts to be successful. And yes, you can definitely, co-op it with your lender. But long story short, I went to Redfin and I did the same thing. I did 14 million in my first 12 months with Redfin in Florida. So I got back in the mode where I was like, man, I don't want to just sit here and grind it out with, beating the streets. I want to go back to Zillow. So I'm officially back with Zillow. I'm spending 5,000 now, and it is a proven track record with Zillow. Even if they do, because Orlando is 100% flex. I can't tell you what Zillow is going to do, but my thinking is eventually everything will be flex, and they will get 40% of our commissions. So that's just my 2 cents on Zillow. I hope that was a lot of data that hopefully some of you guys can use and gals can use.
Jason, thanks for sharing that. So I want to make sure that I just share with all of you, Emma. I hope this is okay that I share. You're hearing lots of numbers being thrown around. I know how much money Emma spends on Zillow. It is a fraction of the numbers that you're hearing. It is not very much money. And from closed deals, she shared her conversion ratio with you earlier. Uh, her, I won't tell you how much. I'll just say that she's done a ton of business. Just in GCI, just from her Zillow leads, would make her one of the top real estate agents in her market with very little money spent personally. Okay. Last up, Darren, let's go. And that's going to be a wrap for today, guys.
Yeah, my question is related to eligibility on your team. Do you just let any new agent that joins your team? You have a big team, I think you said 63 agents. Is there any requirements or criteria for them to be even eligible to get these expensive leads?
Can they pay for it? And you have to commit to 6 months.
Oh, so
and what's available.
So the agent on your team agents are also paying in to be eligible for the Zillow leads.
So the team leads buy the bulk of these leads. We then buy the zip codes off of our team leads. I mean, they don't make any money off us. They buy it in bulk to get the better quality leads and to get the coverage in the zip codes. And then whatever agent wants to buy into each particular zip code, if there's availability, we pay our team leads for those leads, and then they pay Zillow, if that makes sense.
I gotcha. I think I just misunderstood. I thought you had your own team with 63 agents on it.
Oh gosh, no, it's not my team.
Emma, do you mind if you do, just say, yeah, I don't want
No,
to.
I don't know.
Do you mind sharing how much money you've spent on a monthly basis for Zillow leads?
So
And
we are about to go into our 8th month, and we've spent just a little under 17,000 between the two and what will now be three of us.
okay,
And yeah, we are yeah, like I said, yeah, we've spent 17,000.
seventeen
Is
Yeah,
thousand
yeah.
dollars
is
year to date. 17,000 year to date, and that's being split by two people. And the return, remind us again what the return on investment.
200.
We've had 42% of buyers close. The other thing I'd just like to add is this goes beyond buyers. We've had sellers close. So not only have we helped them buy a home, we're now selling their home. We've had 34% of those people sell with us. Um, and we've had 2 referrals off the back of people we've closed. So it compounds. It's not just about the Zillow leads.
Here it is. Okay, we're gonna drop the mic on that. Guys, give it up for Emma. She was amazing. Uh,
Yeah.
Emma Skelton,
Yeah, amazing.
Triad, North Carolina. Uh, Make sure you reach out to her and share gratitude, guys.
Thank you, Emma.
I
You're
am
welcome.
so proud of you.
Thank
Awesome,
you.
Emma.
So proud of you. All right, everybody, make it a great day. That's a wrap. I will see you tomorrow morning. By the way, kudos to all of you for getting us over 80 agents today. That was awesome. It was all because of you, Emma.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I will look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Make it a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, John.
Thanks, everyone. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Go get them.
Thank you, John.
Pleasure, man.